So I probably should have done this video a while ago, like when they announced the prizes. That would have been a good time, or the pricing changes and all that. That would have been a good time. But I've just been busy. That's life, right? Life happens. So I'm going to do this video now. Now, the plus side is that I get to kind of talk about my thoughts on what prizes in TCGs should be and how it relates to the overall landscape around the world. And like some other content creators as well would have done this discussion too, so I can piggyback off their ideas. But honestly, it's just mostly my ideas, right? So first off, I'm not going to go into like a deep comparison on every single TCG's prizes and just go, wow, this one is better than this, blah, blah. I'm not going to do that. It's going to be a very high level view and just the philosophy and the theory behind what these prizes should be and represent. But first off, let's talk about some changes that are really, really good, I think, in the Bushiroad side. And that is, we are getting better prizes, right? Of course, like, I made a short on how bad the prizes were for BSF. And I think it's good that they're improving. They could probably do slightly better, but at least this is a good start, right? So let's just see some of the stuff. So top 8, now there's top 16 and a top 32. If I wanted to nitpick, right, I can nitpick here and say they probably don't need to do a top 32 at 257 plus. They could do it at like 512. That'd be really nice, just because as long as prizes get passed down to a certain point, you don't need to make another round of top cut, right? And having more rounds of top cuts does make my agenda of having a best of 3 top cut a bit harder. They're not doing it this year, so, well, at least here they're not doing it. So maybe hopefully they do it for Worlds, right? Worlds top 8, best of 3 top cut would be nice finals. I'm just saying. But ideally, I do push that idea of best of 3 top cut. Just do it. Every other game is doing it, right? Just do it for us. It'd be great. But yeah, that's the only nitpick I'd say. But having like prizes for top 16 is already great. Yeah, that's great. And the rest of the stuff is just like everyone gets some stuff. Top 8 gets mats now. That's fine, right? Top 8 mats are always nice, a nice recognition. We get top 4 prizes, so you don't feel bad when you miss out on like the best 3 or 4 players. You probably still do because you miss out on an invite. But yeah, you should get top 4 prizes. The only thing we're missing is like a top 1 prize, right? We're missing a top 1 prize, but technically that is the flight to Worlds, free flight to Worlds. It's a pretty good prize. Not every game out there gives free flights to the Worlds, by the way. A lot of them just make you pay. You get an invite and you pay to Worlds. That's it. There is an invite to Worlds, and like the top 3 also get like the unsponsored stuff too. So that's good, right? That is a positive. That is a positive. Unlike Springfest. Springfest was a negative. One other thing I'd probably just say is with the participation pack, get rid of the junk. We don't need this draw trigger. Or maybe we do. It's a stealth. But technically we don't. Especially these fronts as well. Okay, it's a stealth front, but it's a vanilla front. This is like the 5th and 6th front if you're ever going to play it, which is super rare, right? It's super rare. Maybe it'd be nice if they just cut out this crap that we don't need. Like these draws, these fronts. You can put in the premium like deck set grade 1s that premium players need 4 of, but you only get 1 in a set, so you have to pay like $70 for whatever the price is, right? That would be nice. So like, because imagine if you travel, you get a promo pack, or you get X promo packs, and all you do is pull these like fronts and draws. That is a net negative. Let's cut all the negative stuff out of these prizes and just make them positive, make them wins, right? So that's just my thoughts. All these prizes should just be net wins, and that's that. So let's kind of talk about what prizes should be. They should be net wins that I just say. They're just like, dude, you should never get a prize and feel bad about it. So here, if I got a participation pack and pulled a front, I'd feel bad, right? And that shouldn't happen. And what they should be doing is that they should be keeping your player base engaged, your current player base that are into the game engaged, and keep them in this ecosystem longer, right? Anything more than that is a plus. So what I mean by pluses is that suddenly your prizes are worth like $5,000 on the secondary market. That's the icing of the, that's the extra, right? That's the extra flakes on the cake, or whatever it is, right? But the baseline should be that these prizes should be enticing enough for the players who are currently playing the game to go, you know what? I wouldn't feel bad flying, like paying money and flying to this event and just playing, right? It's fun. You get some stuff that's okay, and you know, the prizes are like half decent. Yeah? There's like currently 3 types of prizes right now in the TCG space. The first one is money, like just pure money. That's like the easiest prize. Well, actually not the easiest prize you can give, right? Because then there's things like taxes and how do we give out money in a legal way? That's the boring stuff. As a player, you never have to worry about stuff. You just look at a prize and go, I can get $1,000 for like top 8ing or something like that. You see money and your eyes light up, right? Not your lights eye up. Your eyes light up and go, I have the potential to win some money. That's the easiest, like most straightforward prize to give. Though it can be a bit difficult. What a lot of companies do, especially the Japanese side, they give you stuff, right? They give you, packs, mats, promo cards, nice looking promo cards. And that's like, what Busho does. That's what Yu-Gi-Oh does. Yu-Gi-Oh gives you switches that no one wants anymore. And they also, like, One Piece does that. Bandai does that a lot too, right? And these are all just the same theory. And when your IP is strong, right? This is what's been really happening around the world, and why, people just been jumping into Lorcana, jumping into One Piece. When the IP is strong, the prizes, the secondary market for these prizes go sky high. You've heard those like, whoa, the world's card is now like $6 million. If you get all the world's like things for One Piece, something, it was worth like a lot of money. Let's just put it like that. It was worth a lot of yens, and I think people were offering like $1 million or something at some point. It just went really crazy, right? When that's the extra. If your prizes hit that amount, good for you, right? Keep on doing it. But you shouldn't expect all prizes on the secondary market to reach that level, right? That's the anomaly. So the real baseline should be your prizes should be enticing enough for players in your ecosystem to travel. When those secondary market prizes hit really high, that's when it entices people not in your ecosystem, not your current players, to jump in the game and try and just esports it up, right? Try hard it up. Now, I do want to say that if you are trying to make a living by becoming a pro TCG player who's going to just keep on winning prizes and just selling off that, don't do that. Just that's not how it really works. Of course, if you live maybe in like a Southeast Asia region where the cost of living is very low and all you need to do is win a locals a couple of times a year to be able to sustain your cost of living, then sure, right? You can do that. But one of the things you have to understand that if you like pro gamers, like esports and all that stuff, they make their money not from prizes. They make their money from a salary, doing other things. You think of the Pokemon players, they make a lot of their money through just trading, coaching, teaching people, doing content. That's where the money comes from because it's consistent, right? It's consistent. Winning prizes is not consistent. Even though you can maybe make a net positive, making, just enough money to go by from prizes, it's not a good standard of living. And the bank is not going to give you a loan for a house or anything like that by saying, I make X money a year from Pokemon prizing or whatever prizing it is. I sell One Piece cards and make my money. They're not going to give you a loan through that. They're going to want to see things like, they want to see consistency. And that's what you should be looking for when it comes to a source of income. Consistency. And playing card games is probably one of the most inconsistent things you could do. So let's just throw it out there. But the prizing itself should just be the icing on the cake on why you play, right? The main thing is the prizing will be you go to these tournaments and go, okay, I'm having fun playing and I can win something like represent my country at the World Championships, or I could make, top 64 and get like a nice looking sleeve, or make top 8 and get a mat and things like that. That should be what the prizing is trying to accomplish, to bring you further into their game, invest you into their ecosystem more so that you have less of a chance of leaving. And then, then you will just keep on coping and buying more product. I think one of the other things that we can criticize Bushiroad about is that their events were pretty sparse, right? We have BCS and a BSF, and you probably have like one tournament per half year. Maybe 2 if you're lucky. But if you're in America, I guess you have more, but that's encompassing the whole of America. And I can understand that if you have an event in New York, it doesn't mean the guy from California is going to travel there, right? It's a long trip. It costs a lot of money. While other games, they do churn out more events. Now, we are getting more events this year. I think, like, at least America is getting more. I've seen the schedule. It's a long list. I think this is great, right? Because when you have more events, right? Look at this. Boom. More in America. That's nice. When you have more events, it justifies you for spending more money. Because there's more events you can attend, right? I can, as I stated before, I think I started playing some One Piece before. There is literally an event at least every single quarter, but because I live in Australia, there's probably less compared to America, but we get I can at least attend 2 events every single quarter. So that makes the cost of investing into that game, I'd feel bad, but then at the same time, I can use this card that I paid for a lot more. So this is what Busho should be focusing on, is getting those events going. Europe and Australia, well, not Australia, but Oceania, looking a bit not that great, but I think there are other ways they can do AO and EU, right? We do have less numbers in some areas compared to America. But that means we can run different kinds of events. And all in all, just making sure that your investment into the game is worth it, right? So that's basically the key things I want to say. So pricing, what is pricing? They keep you invested in the game. They make sure that you go to these events and go, I'm having fun playing and having a chance to win something, as well as just making it worth it for you to invest in the game a bit more, right? Getting a nice thing for just competing is fine. And even here's the thing, right? Even if you have a format that is more luck based compared to others, if you have pricing that extends down further than just a top 8, it does make the impact of luck less significant, right? For example, I'm gonna throw out Pokemon here. Pokemon, it's a pretty luck-based game. I'm gonna throw it out there. But the other thing as well is that the level of players in Pokemon is way higher. The base level of players is way higher. So you're not gonna be making top 8 every single tournament, but the prizes does extend to top 32, top 64, depending on the tournament, and points to compete to Worlds also extends down a lot of way down. So it does make the impact of getting luck sacked less bad, right? Less bad. Same thing with One Piece. One Piece, there's a lot of skill involved. There's still luck involved, but because their pricing extends down so far, they have a $500 promo at the moment for top 64. Yeah, it does make being consistent at the game doesn't exactly mean you have to make a top 8 every single time or top 16. Making top 64 is also a decent amount. So it does make that luck barrier kind of better, right? So that's just another thing I want to point out. And also the participation stuff. I mean, they don't have the picture here. They have a participation tote bag this year. I do also want to say that participation prizes, even when you pay for it, they do count as prizing. Because when you enter a tournament and you pay money, generally they give you stuff that can translate into more money on the secondary market, or has the potential to be better than what you paid for, right? So eventually you don't feel bad about paying $30, $60 or whatever entering a tournament, and it helps, I guess, the distributor get rid of stock. But it also makes it so that when you fly out to this tournament, you at least get something back, right? If you don't get anything back, you're just gonna enter X2 scrub or 0-2 drop. What did I come here for? The reality is that the entry fee to these tournaments are probably the least expensive thing you're paying for the whole night. Because in the West, we have to think about the travel cost, the hotel cost, and yeah, that's going to cost way more than whatever the entry fee usually is. Unless the entry fee suddenly becomes $300 or whatever, then sure, right? But at least you're getting something for your travel. So the participation prize this year for BCS is good. I think the tote bag is better than those dex boxes we got for VSF, so that's nice. So overall, that's my thoughts on the prizes, my philosophy, I guess, or my ideas on what prizes should be. They should keep players invested in the game. give them something to go for, right? Like a goal to go for. Your prizes don't have to be incredible amounts of profit, right? Be like One Piece, secondary market prices like that. Those are just an anomaly. Lorcana as well. Like Yu-Gi-Oh does the same thing, but they give you bad promos, so you're never making a profit there, and that's why everyone is quitting Yu-Gi-Oh as well. You see a lot of big players announcing they're quitting, but they're probably not. Like, let's be real, they're probably not. They're too invested in the game. But yeah, it doesn't need to have crazy secondary amount of prizes. You just have to do enough so that people are still investing in your game and see your game. Like the players that are there are worth it. How you get new players is literally just make better product. Make better product, have engaging gameplay. That's how you're gonna get players into the game. Good marketing as well, right? Good marketing. Technically, tournaments can be good marketing because when people see, wow, they're giving $20,000 for first place or $2 million or whatever, that's great marketing. But it doesn't have to be like that. And honestly, the reality is it's going to be very hard to compete with huge IPs that can throw that around or big companies that can throw that around. So you don't have to compete in that space. There are other spaces you can compete in where you have the advantage that other companies don't have, right? That's the way I see it. So current pricing for BCS, I think, is going in the correct direction. I think they should just keep on building on this. And then hopefully it just can get better and better. I hope Worlds pricing this year is better. At least they did announce certain things to make sure that people are less confused going into Worlds, because last year they didn't really announce on like how Worlds prizes will be distributed, how they're going to give it out and things like that. So at least they announced everything first, so people can decide on what they want to do. So yeah, that's basically my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and I'll see you all next time. Right, it's just a rant video. Well, not a rant video. This is a discussion video. Right, bye.